The Zalthirian Empire had conquered countless worlds across the spiral arms of the galaxy. To them, resistance was amusing, like insects flailing against the might of a storm. For centuries, their fleets burned cities, enslaved species, and culled populations without remorse. Their doctrine was simple: fear maintained order. But when they invaded Earth, they made a mistake unlike any other. The first battles had gone as expected for the Empire. Human warships were smaller, fewer, and technologically behind. The Zalthirian commanders mocked Earth's primitive navies as their dreadnoughts crushed orbital defenses. Yet something unsettled them: humans fought harder than they should have. Even outnumbered and outgunned, their ships rammed enemy cruisers, their soldiers fought to the last breath, and no human commander surrendered willingly. Still, the Zalthirian Council remained confident, until one fateful order was given. On the colony of Europa Prime, where families had been evacuated during the war, Zalthirian soldiers stormed a civilian shelter. Their target was not soldiers, not weapons, but children. The massacre was swift and merciless. When images of lifeless human children spread across the galaxy, even alien species long subjugated by the Empire whispered in horror. To them, the humans had always seemed dangerous. Now, they realized what the Empire had awakened. Because humans had a unique trait no other race possessed. When threatened, they did not merely fight. They united. The fractured nations of Earth, once bickering over borders and politics, forged themselves into a single war machine. Every fleet, every soldier, every resource was dedicated to one goal: vengeance. Admiral Marcus Kane stood at the helm of the newly christened battleship Valiant. Its hull gleamed with experimental armor, and its cannons were forged from technologies reverse-engineered in desperation from fallen Zalthirian wrecks. Humanity had learned fast, too fast. "Transmit the message," Kane ordered, his voice steady but cold. Across every channel, to every star system under Zalthirian rule, the humans spoke. "You came for our children. Now we come for you." The war changed overnight. Where once humans had fought defensively, now they struck with calculated fury. Fleets no longer protected only Earth. They launched into deep space, hunting Zalthirian convoys, liberating enslaved worlds, and turning former subjects into allies. The aliens who had once bowed to the Empire now saw a different choice: stand with humanity. Species long beaten into submission offered intelligence, resources, even soldiers. Humanity accepted them not as slaves, but as partners in a growing coalition. The Zalthirian Council convened in panic. "They are primitives. They cannot stand against us," one general roared. But the reports told another story. Dreadnoughts destroyed by coordinated human tactics, supply lines burned, and liberated planets rising in revolt. The humans were not just fighting a war, they were igniting a rebellion across the stars. Then came the Battle of Eridani Prime. The Zalthirian had assembled their grand armada, hundreds of warships, the largest fleet in their history. They expected humanity to cower. Instead, the Valiant and its sister ships warped into the system at the head of a coalition fleet twice the size the Empire anticipated. For the first time, the Zalthirian knew fear. The battle raged for days. Human ships fought with reckless precision, weaving through enemy lines, using every ounce of ingenuity and defiance. Admiral Kane's fleet crippled the Empire's flagship, and broadcasts of its destruction spread to every corner of the galaxy. When the dust settled, the Zalthirian armada was shattered. Humanity had not merely survived, they had broken the spine of the most feared empire in the galaxy. On the ruins of Eridani, Kane sent one last message. "You thought harming our children would break us. Instead, it united us. Know this: humanity will never forgive, never forget, and never allow tyranny to rise again." And with that, the galaxy changed forever. The humans, once dismissed as weak, now stood as the rallying cry of freedom. The wrath of parents avenging their children had forged them into something unstoppable. The Empire had learned the most terrible truth of all. There is no enemy more relentless, more unyielding, than humanity defending its own.